Guys, in this video we're gonna review the Epstein case analysis done by FBI, or in other words, the bullshit which they want to feed us. I will refer to one of the creators out there on YouTube. His name is CoffeeZilla, and he is kind of famous about investigations. The link for his original video is in the video description below. You may find it, and I encourage you to check it out. But here it goes, mixed with my own thoughts. Yeah, let's go. What do we have? Epstein harmed over 100 victims, but no client list. So yesterday, or the day before yesterday, I think it's already was announced. Like, we have Whitezilla, it's the CoffeeZilla channel. I know the topic just partially on the top. Maybe he will dig down deeper into what happened. So let's listen.
DOJ and FBI, kind of a joint statement here. We're going to go through it. They say, as a part of a commitment to transparency, the Department of Justice and Federal Bureau of Investigation have conducted an exhaustive review of the investigative holdings related to Jeffrey Epstein. Sort of a relook at the evidence, if you will. And they come to some very interesting findings. And it's interesting in that it's contrary to what a lot of what they've been saying all along. And
so they contradict each other and did reinvestigation. Was it happening because Elon Musk accused openly Donald Trump about participating those parties with Epstein? I don't know whether Elon Musk has the real access to the list of Epstein. Here in this document, they probably say that there is no client list, judging on the name of the video. It's very interesting that it happens right now. Then people again start to speak about Epstein in a context that not just some liberal part of the political community is involved in that, but also could be MAGA officials, pretty much high officials as Donald Trump himself. Well, let's continue.
That's what's kind of the problem here. For the last few months, we've been teased along with these statements about, you know, oh, we've got the client list.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients?
So the idea then, allegedly Jeffrey Epstein unalived himself, and that's what they say, and which no one believes. Apparently he documented everyone who was involved in those parties, or orgies, you may say, or sexual activity with minors. He had this list. It is out there somewhere among officials. And I remember then Donald Trump and this MAGA community, even before or during the elections, they say that then we're gonna go and get the power. We're gonna get rid of woke, and we're gonna publish those Epstein files, which they're hiding from society. You're gonna see the surnames as even Joe Biden, maybe Barack Obama, and so on. But apparently now they're hiding it more. They're saying that there is no list existing at all.
Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review.
We've got thousands of videos.
It's sitting on my desk to review. It was the Fox News.
There are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child.
And then
thousands of videos of files of Epstein. They say it themselves.
You know, Kash Patel goes on Joe Rogan and says, hey, there ain't no videos. If I had a video of a guy on an island committing a felony, don't you think you know about it?
Again, logical play out. If there was a video of some guy or gal committing felonies on an island, and I'm in charge, don't you think you'd see it?
It's all right.
So it's not existing. It was used as the political tool to brainwash those people, MAGA people who voted. They were told that there were existing Epstein files, but the fact that then they got the power, somehow it's not a story any longer.
Seems like a bit of a contradiction. Now, Joe Rogan even tries to give him the out, like, oh, maybe you don't have it. And he's like, no, we're giving you everything.
If you have access to it.
If I have it, period.
Right.
If I have it.
Right. If you have it.
Right.
But you can't say that you have it.
No, we're giving you everything we have.
So they don't have freaking list. Either it doesn't exist at all, or they're hiding it. If it doesn't exist, it means that they brainwashed their people who voted for Donald. If it does exist and they hide it, it is also understandable because Donald could be involved.
So far.
Everything we have so far is
Have
the
you guys
universe.
gone over all the video that's available?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. That's what takes so much damn time.
And so there already was a wedge with what we were sort of told we're going to get versus then they come out and say, hey, nothing to see here. And today is a little bit more of that. It's a little bit more of the finger wagging at the conspiracy theorists, which is ironic given that both Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, who have now come out saying there's nothing to see here, guys, were saying, oh, there's a lot to see here before they got in.
Who killed Jeffrey Epstein?
This doesn't look right. It doesn't look like a suicide.
It's unbelievable. The guy killed himself.
Now, maybe that's because they did a deep dive and they're just being honest with people.
Again, you want me to get, I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
But I think you deserve criticism if you're going to engage in this type of conspiratorial thinking and then when it's convenient for you, you expect the trust of the people. If you're the one saying like, hey, those guys can't be trusted, you become that guy and you go, well, guys, you can trust me, right? When I'm going to say the exact same thing. Everyone's been saying this whole time. That's why it's so stupid. I mean, you guys set up all the wrong expectations.
Yeah, it's like that. You create the fake conspiracy theory over some sort of the media example which resonates in society. For example, Epstein, allegedly, he did all of those parties and everything. And I would say that there is some sort of the evidence about it. It should be like that because after all, everyone says that officials, not just politicians, but also from the special services, they were saying about Epstein all the time. And now they want to cancel everything of that, saying that the guy offed himself. Okay.
Told us, we're going to reveal the truth. And now they're saying there's nothing to see here.
Yeah.
And shame on you for thinking there was. And what?
At the same time, they were telling that themselves. Like, shame on you. But we told you so, yeah, before. Because we needed your attention.
Once again, this is more self-contradiction. Because in this statement, we actually find immediately first page, second paragraph, saying that there's a large volume of images of Epstein, images and videos of victims who are either minors or appear to be minors. My question is, there's no one else? In this statement, they admit that Epstein harmed over 1,000 victims.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got 1,000 people, either some form of evidence that he harmed. Nobody else was involved. Epstein's around the most powerful people on the planet. 1,000 victims. No.
So they agree that Epstein did it, but they blame just him, okay? It seems like the deep state is existing out there, and MAGA is in it. I didn't see other explanation here why they're saying that there is no any list of the clients, let's say, of Epstein. Wow.
Nobody else. There's images and videos. Apparently, that's what they say. Nobody else is on camera, right? Because otherwise, that would mean that the FBI director went on Joe Rogan and told a lie, told a little fib.
If there was a video of some guy or gal committing felonies on an island and I'm in charge,
yeah,
don't you think you'd see it?
But he says he's going to get the evidence out. So how do you square this, right? There's 1,000 Was Epstein just filming himself the whole time for did he put it in the evidence box? I mean, that's the ridiculous thing about.
Yeah, physically it's impossible. Physically to organize that stuff. He knew everyone from politics, business, Hollywood, whatsoever. So it's like a syndicate. And now they say, okay, we're not involved. It was just him. He zeroed himself. And that's it. There was no list. Somehow there are still 1,000 victims. No videos of anyone, it seems like, except Epstein. because they don't want to accuse anyone. It's kind of strange.
Why would you film yourself committing these acts? That's where the whole blackmail angle came from. Was there's all these videos for what, right? And I'm sure those people, these powerful people, did not consent to being recorded. So what else was this being used for? It's just pretty amazing. This whole statement seems to absolve any third parties, saying that they really have nothing else that they can bring that would expose third parties to allegations of illegal wrongdoing. Saying later, this systemic review revealed no incriminating client list. Now, here's where I got to say, like, yeah, what, you didn't find the little notebook that had the, like...
Yeah. Maybe there is no list existing, just those videos. But you see those clients on the videos. So it doesn't mean that there were no clients. If you don't find this paper, it doesn't mean that those people, they didn't commit any felonies against minors. 1,000 victims. If 1,000 victims, maybe some videos were filmed with one victim several times. It means that there are gigabytes or terabytes of this information. Also, if you have like visual evidence, video information, it doesn't necessarily mean that the other acts were like everything was filmed. Like there could be some other cases which are not documented on camera. What the hell? Like, what the hell?
Every guy that did something wrong on it? Yeah, obviously that's probably not going to exist, right?
That's bullshit.
But if you have videos and somebody appears in the video doing something bad, it's not a client list, but that's a client, right? So
yeah,
I just find it so hard to believe. I just don't believe. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I do not believe that you had so many videos, apparently enough to catalog over 1,000 victims, and not a single other person other than Epstein appeared on any of them.
Impossible.
Right? He's friends
Absolutely.
with all these famous people. He got rich, and nobody knows how he got rich. People suspect that it was some form of blackmail.
Yes, he used it himself personally also. It could be, as people say, Mossad, yeah, but it could be Epstein's idea personally. He didn't document everyone on the paper, but he got the document video, apparently. Physically, it's impossible to have this sexual intercourse with so many 1,000 victims. It would take like years and years, could be decades. Like 3065, you'll have less than 3 years. If you do it even every freaking day you do it. Can you do it every freaking day? I don't think so. So it's physically impossible for one person to organize and do those crimes. There is so many people on those videotapes. I hope they will be released, because they're saying about the evidence. They were saying about the evidence. It's not the list, but we have something, which new administration tries to hide.
But the FBI seems to basically say this is a conspiracy theory. They say perpetuating unfounded theories about Epstein serves neither of those ends of combating child exploitation and bringing justice to victims. You know, I actually agree with that. I do think we have to be careful not to jump to, conspiracy theories. The problem is when you release contradictory evidence, it makes people think that you're hiding stuff. Like that.
Yeah.
That is not being helped in this release. I don't know if they're saying, oh, we're being so transparent here. Seems like the first big release was a nothing burger. And they said they had, reviewing all of these videos. Then they say if we have videos of people committing crimes, we tell you about those. And then they say we have thousands of videos.
What the hell? Like, before they say no videos, then they say no list. Like during the election campaign, they say that there were both videos and the list of the clients. And now in the statement, they say that they have materials, images of illegal child abuse materials, downloaded, thousands of downloaded videos here and images, but they see no one involved in that other than Epstein. Like, definitely they're not saying lots of the stuff, and that makes people to think that they're hiding something really important and connected to nowadays politicians who have the power, and they use that power to block or firewall the information which potentially could be released. It was not voluntarily action, I think, by Elon Musk to delete that post, blaming Donald Trump connections with Epstein. I mean, deep connections. I think someone told him to delete it. It was too much for someone.
But we're not going to show you them because there's nothing to see. There's nobody on there important. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Yeah,
Quote, we did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. In other words, there's nothing we found that would be useful for a future investigation.
That's bullshit. That's clearly bullshit.
That's what I find so interesting. Like, I get if you don't want to accuse someone in a press release of something that you haven't accused someone of, like, with criminal charges, right? I get it. That's kind of the Department of Justice's way. Even if they have a file on somebody, but they're not going to charge them, they redact their names, usually. But in this case, they're kind of saying, we didn't find anything.
So usually during the prosecution period, just not to unfold all the information about persons. I know how it's in the United States, but in Europe, usually they mark people involved like individual A, individual B, or they basically use the fake names for investigation purposes, and then they release the statements, I mean paper statements to the public, just to tell what happened, like in general. It's like the air crash investigation. When something happens, investigation releases all the data, and they don't share the crew data. Surname, even in final investigation report, you will not find it. Partially hiding information from the public because it could be used against the investigation itself. People will start to dig the information about pilots in social media. They will try to connect their private life to what they've done. So the same case goes to any sort of the investigation, including FBI, and public demands some information. Usually it's been released with the fake names or, as I told you, person A, B, whatsoever.
That we would, I mean, it's such a strongly worded statement. That's what's weird about it.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just be vague if you had these pending cases, right? I find it so weird that
Indeed.
the people in the FBI right now have come in with such a mission to, on the one hand, say, hey, we're going to be totally transparent. And then, oh, well, we're not going to show you that. We're not going to show you that. We don't.
Yeah, it's zero transparency here. Even though they go on Joe Rogan's show and, oh, we are transparent. We don't have, like, he said, like, this Josh Patel, or who else there? No, the commander of FBI. He said that we don't have anything. And now they say they have it, and they don't want to show it. All right.
We don't want to re-victimize anyone. Okay, that's
Re-victimize.
fine. But then how are you going to make a bunch of absolute statements that make no sense and contradict what you said earlier?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
if you're saying we can't say anything, then don't say anything. Don't say, hey, we're going to tell you everything. Well, we actually cannot, we can't actually show you. And that kind of...
Just imagine this bomb if they would release all of those videos, like, not at least those videos, but if they describe what happened there, who was involved. The only reason I see why they do not open information about it is that the current administration is involved in it. Maybe not administration itself of the White House, but those people who are in Senate, in Congress, powerful people, businessmen involved. I'm sure that Elon Musk is not involved. He wouldn't create that post afterwards.
Overconfidence extends to also their, pronouncement about, hey, there's nothing to see here as far as the death of Epstein, because they don't really show much new here. We knew that this footage of the common area existed. Basically, they showed 10-hour footage of the common area during the time at which this all would have happened, Epstein's death. And so this is supposed to be like the absolute bulletproof, to show everyone that, oh, there's no way that someone could have gotten in here. But this is not actually Epstein's door. So, I mean, I don't know the exact layout of the prison. I'm not going to pretend to know everything there. But this is no more proof than we already had. We already knew this existed.
Yeah, so nothing new actually in that they now create more speculations about this topic than before. The policy of FBI is very strange with this statement. Unprecedented.
Questions were about all the security malfunctions of the much more important cameras than just the common area.
Yeah, by the time there were security malfunctions of the cameras, apparently. So there is the corridor, I believe, which leads to some of the cameras. I mean, the rooms. And those rooms, they have their own cameras. And those were switched off somehow or malfunction. So we don't know what happened there inside this corridor. Very interesting.
I'm not sure how a 10-hour video of a common area definitively proves anything new. That's what I'm saying. You can't come in and go, hey, we got this bombshell. It's what you already knew, right? That doesn't make sense. And also, we've confirmed there's over 1,000 victims.
So it's like excuse. This report is nothing than excuse. Do not blame us. We were not the part of the Epstein corporation. We were not participating that stuff. And actually, no one was participating in this stuff. Not just us, not just Donald Trump. No one was there. It was just him and 1,000 victims. We have tons of the videos, images, but we're not gonna show you. Instead, here, look at this corridor or whole video of the entrance to the corridor, yeah? Which gives us nothing new.
Don't know who by. I mean, like, only Epstein? Really? Look at the charges of Ghislaine Maxwell. I mean, it's insane. Are we saying they were all to Epstein? Every single one. Over 1,000 only for Epstein. The way he got his money, we have no idea. It doesn't make sense.
At all.
So yeah, an incredibly frustrating day for anyone who was expecting anything new from this, administration coming in saying they were going to clean house.
No, nothing. It will be nothing. They will be even worse. They'll hide everything because they are involved in it before. They're, they were coming saying, we're going to defeat the deep state. They became the deep state. They were saying that they will collapse this ruling modern-day monarchy and they'll clear everything to society, but instead they're blocking everything because they're like that themselves.
Get rid of the corruption. Fight for truth. Release the truth. You're not gonna catch me hiding a guy on an island, right? And so I don't know. I was kind of stunned to see this report. I just thought, if you're gonna say this, which again doesn't really say anything new, only it's kind of like a backhanded, hey, stop being such a conspiracy theorist, guys. That is what I find strange.
I believe that Trump is really on the list, that Elon didn't put this topic blindly, that he knows something. He is in lack of the proofs. Maybe he has the proofs even, but he hesitates to show them because maybe it will finish his entire business. Like, he was a great supporter of Trump, let's be honest. One of the main supporters who donated how many? $400 million? How much, yeah? 400 million? That's a lot.